Alright, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and I had a bunch of y'all hit me up asking about the Loki video because Loki is the hot topic for this Young Avengers update. Apologies for being late, but I had some business. I had some business to take care of, but I'm back to share my thoughts on this one because the community is in a uproar, as is often the case when it comes to Loki. This guy has been one of the most consistent characters, controversial characters in Marvel Future Fight. Honestly, I can't remember a time when Loki wasn't a part of the meta in some way, shape, or form, you know. And the fact that he almost got pushed out, didn't even get fully pushed out, and then within a couple weeks he's back at the top, it's crazy. The devs love Loki, so if you're a Loki hater, stop playing Future Fight because they gonna keep on doing this. Okay, Loki's been in the meta for like 10 years now. Anyways, point is, if you are a first adopter in Marvel Future Fight, this is often going to be the case where you get burned. Okay, you build a character and in a couple months they get replaced by a better character. Unless their name is Luna Snow, where they remain meta for 2, 3, 4 years. Okay, always the safe bet. When in doubt, bet on bet on Luna Snow or Loki, right? But yeah, people are mad that, and to be honest, rightfully so, that they just dropped an epic quest that was highly anticipated, and they took extra weeks to work on, and the gods felt not godly at all. The only standout ones were Zeus and Ares, Hades to a lesser extent, right? Because he was easier and still is easier to play than the villain version of Loki, even though he scores a little bit less, like 500,000 points less. So most people will gravitate to saving hours of their day because you sometimes got to replay with Loki in that villain uniform over and over and over to get a good score, where 80s you can one and done and you out. So it really comes down to how much your time is worth, right? So he has value, and he still will, because this version of Loki is now a hero. However, he now challenges Zeus, who honestly, that should not have been the case, because Zeus is the end goal of an epic quest that requires that you spend 6,600 crystals, you know, and then a whole heap of materials and build up a useless Hercules to get access to him. You literally have to build a boatload of characters. My head is hiding Hercules, but he's an afterthought, so yeah, crazy. You have to build all these characters to get to him, only for him to then be replaced by Loki a week later or 2 weeks later, depending on when you get access to him or when you got access to him. Now, to be honest, even though if you're one of the first adopters that decided to rush to get through the epic quest, you are losing a little bit. Ultimately, the people who are losing the most are the developers, because when they do stuff like this, it sends a signal to players: beware, right? The next time they release an epic quest or a group of characters that might impact the meta, people are not going to be wary if they're super expensive about building them to see what comes next and see if they're going to get longevity out of their investment. And to be honest, most of the low spenders and free to plays that were, you know, thinking about buying Hades and building Zeus, you can rejoice, because to be honest, you can now build a character that is way cheaper. Like, you literally pay 1,000 crystals for Loki's uniform, and that saves you. I guess technically you buy 2 uniforms if you didn't have the old one for Loki, the TVA one, right? The top hat and whatnot, right? You spend 2,000 crystals, and it saves you spending 6,000 crystals on Hades if you don't mind, right? The annoying playstyle that Loki has with the villain uniform. And then you technically don't have to buy this guy, right? Because Loki's villain uniform is better than him, but he also has some overlap for Gladiator, so he still has some value. But the one who really hurts the most here is Zeus. Zeus is directly being challenged and honestly being pushed out of the meta, top spot anyways, by Loki. From what I'm seeing and hearing, it's like 2 mil, right? 2 million points. Like when you have them both maxed out with a similar build, end game, Loki 2 million plus points more from what I'm hearing. But on average, like a mil at least. That's a big gap because he's tier 2 native, final boss, final prize, trophy character getting replaced by a free to play god. But this is good news if you are free to play or a low spender, because this saves you time and money or crystals, same difference. Okay, honestly, even though I am one of the first adopters, I'm not upset about this. It's just the nature of the beast, honestly. Whether it happened now, which kind of feels sad, it would have happened in 6 months or a year. It sucks, but it is what it is. I'd rather have Loki get a good uniform, if he's getting a uniform, which I didn't necessarily prefer that he was getting. It would have been nicer if Wiccan or Hulkling had come in and upset things. But if he's getting a uniform, I'm not going to advocate for the uniform to be bad just to protect the value of more expensive characters. That's for the devs to look at and say, hey, for the longevity of the game, they need to make money, so maybe they should balance him appropriately to ensure their bottom line. They didn't do that, maybe because they don't see the need to, because they are already made enough money off of the first adopters. Or maybe the love of Loki supersedes the love of profit. You know that's not true. Anyways, I dig the new Loki, and he's gonna have longevity, so this uniform, in my opinion, is a must buy. I will not be tier 4 in Loki, because even though he is better than Zeus, I've already invested in Zeus, and I'm okay with getting a little bit less. I'm not going to tier 4 him just to score 2 million more if I max him out. At that point, what was the point of me building Zeus? I'm not going to ever use him again? No, I'd rather just keep using him and just keep Loki on the back burner as a support for PvE and PvP, right? Because right now he does have some PvE value as a support for the Young Avengers, Kate Bishop, and whoever else gets the Young Avengers tag in the future. And he does have the decreased chain hit damage for PvP. So yeah, this uniform, in my opinion, is a must buy. And the playstyle for Loki is actually kind of cool, and I would say fun. His skills are pretty freaking awesome. You literally can just do 3, 5, 4, 2, and he's just teleporting across the map and just wrecking shit. Also, you want to throw in 1, I guess. You go 3, 5, 4, 2, and then once the 2 is done, you can just go ahead and just punch up the boss. And you're still insta canceling the 6, so it's up to you how you want to do it, right? Whether you want to do 3 then 6, or 6 then 3, or 6 then 5, it's up to you. But for the most part, you insta cancel the 6 skill just because it runs for such a long time that it's going to interfere with your damage proc. And the way how Loki is right now, you literally could use him with a CTP of energy or CTP of destruction or whatever if you don't have a rage, just because the skills are just insta cancel, right? But if you're going to use him for ABX stuff, ABX, ABL, then obviously you'd want to use him with a CTP of rage. I see people arguing that competition might be better for him, but keep in mind that for Alliance Battle Infinite, if you want to, like, if he's one of the characters that you're going to heavily invest in, then maybe you want to give him a rage just for that piece of content. Anyways, I've blabbered on long enough. Let me show you guys a little bit of what Loki can do now. Let's see how well we can do with Loki at level 80 with literally no build. If the cooldowns on his like 5 and 4 was a little bit shorter, oh my gosh, he'll be so much better. But then at the same time, people would be even madder, bro. So I'm trying to get my insight and my liberation to sync up properly with my rage. So that's why I let the tier 3 play out there. In most cases you don't, but you can improvise. When you're trying, like for me, I'm trying to get all 3 CTPs to proc at the same time, but that's not happening for me right now. Alright, boom. I love the fact that he has this shorter on the third skill now for fire damage. Makes it easier to cancel on burn season. Huh? Okay, now we finally got what I need. Now we just gotta keep it. But the problem is, yeah, there it is. Once you let the tier 3 rock out one time, it just tries to take over the whole fight. You know, so you have to be careful. Yeah. It's fine. Kind of crazy how much damage he's doing. I know the Loki professionals, the pros, they're gonna be like, yo, you let the tier 3 play out, you're losing so much damage. I know, bro, I know. I'm not a Loki god like you, bro. But if we can get 16 with a level 80, that'll be pretty crazy. Okay. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. There we go. Alright, we're not gonna get 16, unfortunately. Because I messed up. But it's fine. Just know it's possible. Yeah. It's super close to 16, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, 15.4 with me just doing pretty much whatever the hell I want to do. And keep in mind, that's with no Odin's blessings. That's with me not touching Loki in God knows how long. Because before I got Hades, I was using Farm with Thanos. Because I just do not like playing with Loki. Whether it's for World Boss or for ABX, ABL. Well, for World Boss, it was more so that he was dying. Right? Which I guess I should show you a little bit of how he does in World Boss now that he got this uniform. But for ABX ABL, I didn't like his playstyle, so I just never used him. But yeah, that's no build. His stats are capped out though. And we have a 180 Mighty Rage. We have a 4-star artifact because I'm pretty sure they gave this away for free a long time ago. But this is kind of crazy because I'm pretty sure 16 million is where like a good tier 4 character will get in ABX. So the fact that he's getting that at level 80, I can definitely see why people are mad, because he's gonna outshine a lot of characters, bro. There's no way Aphrodite or Athena could come in here and get 18 million casually, and they're all gods, but not all gods are built the same. And I know you guys are gonna be like, well, Zeus is the father of the gods, so he should be a cut above the rest. Well, so is Odin. Odin is the father of the gods, and Thor's been better for a long time, and so is Loki. So, you know, old men, sit down. The young kid is the future. Alright, let's see how much damage we can squeeze out of Loki at level 80. There we go. Some of y'all might wonder why I sit in the 4 skill sometimes. I'm doing it so that I can abuse the iframe to give my Loki a little bit of extra safety, a little bit of protection. He is tankier because he has the chain hit damage reduction, but he's still by no means a tank. So I am gonna prioritize keeping him alive because Kang hits really hard, and I have Kang PTSD. So I'm saying I have Kang PTSD. And I am gonna let that tier 3 do his work. Not the tier 2 Baron Zemo. Not the tier 2 Baron Zemo. Can't remember the last time I used that guy outside of Shadowland. Tragic. Still remember when he got added to the game though. And when he got that epic uniform. Maybe his time will return once more. Once more. But yeah, this is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. If you're a Loki fan, rejoice, bro. Like, honestly. If you're a Loki hater, I don't know, delete the game. I don't know what to tell you. Right? Because even I'm not gonna tier for him. I'm not gonna be using him for ABX, ABL. But it's not out of hate, it's just I already have all the characters built. And it's good to have options, right? So I'm not gonna hate on people. Like, some people, this is all they can afford, and it's a good option, you know. You just have to have quick fingers. That was a okay. I don't know what happened with my damage there. Just kind of fell off a little bit. I was trying to use the second skill to toy with him, but not quite. It's like, I'm not having that, boyo. Now watch this play, guys. Y'all see what I just did there? He was supposed to cutscene. I timed it so that his cutscene didn't happen, and now the second Kang will never spawn. If you want to cheese him, there you go. You can time it, and this makes the fight infinitely easier because you don't have the second Kang that does purple attacks and tries to snipe you and shit. You know, the Prince of Lies. Every day, more lies. Okay, let me not get myself killed. But like, yeah, you see, the second Kang will never spawn, even when he gets the final phase of 8 bars and whatnot. There will never be a second Kang. I do this often. Anyways, sorry, I couldn't get my fifth skill there for some reason. He's still gonna do his cutscene here, but as you can see, now after I make this video, the devs might patch it. But like, yeah, see, the second Kang never spawned, and then the that attack that tracks you, that would hit you and guard break you or stun you, never happens. Alright, we might run out of time. Yeah. Damn. Alright, so we ran out of time. Tragic. But yeah, this is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. For a level 80 character, he did alright because that stage is definitely not easy. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Loki in the comments, guys.